in the building, we taking it over.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They run with a man from La Tech. It's Boston Scott. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. This defense for the Packers, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
On play action, Rodgers. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. The left side completion to Jones. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Second and 5 from the 8. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. Watkins diving. He's got it. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Every guy that plays this game has plenty of people around him that are concerned for his health and well-being. He had no regard for his body on that catch at all, did he?
Middle of the field diving to grab it? No, he didn't. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. The Eagles, it's 7-3 now on the year, and they've been in a great groove. Winners of 7 of their last 10 now on the year.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
Here's Hurts to throw. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Hassan Reddick coming through with a stop there and a tackle for loss to boot.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Rodgers now to throw. Now swing pass for Dillon. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
To throw is Rodgers. Flush under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Hassan Reddick, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. A 2nd and 11 from the 19. Throwing is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And it's a Packers touchdown. Aaron Jones, he scored on the ground and through the air. Now Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Packers 14, Eagles 0.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
This one fielded at the 5.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey?
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game.
Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
57, Mike, 57, 30.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And he's got his man here, Beasley. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That's good for 28 yards.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
Now Jones. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
42 is the mark, 42 is the mark. Off the screen, off the screen, off the screen.
On second down, Dillon. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A.J. Dillon, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers take a 3-touchdown lead. Crosby with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Mike 51, Mike 51. 17. You. Right here, guys. Mike 51, Mike 51. 60 Eagles, 60.
On the carry, this is Scott. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
18 Ramblin'. Rig alert. Here I come again. 51 to Mike, boys, go.
Throwing is Hurts. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Rasul Douglas picks it.
Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
A diving effort, but only right at the line of scrimmage. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. An inside give to Jones. Oh, some strong running. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And, oh, that would get a wind-up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
But that was actually throwing game 101 right there. You challenge double coverage like that, you're liable to get burned. Fortunate, that was just incomplete.
The Packers on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. On play action, it's Rodgers.
And that'll be complete to Dillon.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 13-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. On play action, now Rodgers.
A check down here to Jones.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Aaron Jones
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Packers are able to add on to their first-half lead.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 2nd and a yard. Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert.
Hurts finding Goddard there. First down, Philadelphia.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Go street. Check. Hurt. Ship. Watch the ship. Curve 19.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Flush to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want.
And my goodness, another interception. Rasul Douglas picks it.
And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation. Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Mike 57, Mike 57. Too little, cut.
A final shot before half for Rodgers.
He'll dump this down to Dillon. That's complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
50. Hey, you block over here. 50. Hey, you block over here.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick, his second sack of the night.
Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
In your face. 57's Mike. Mike 57. All right. Here we go. Let's go, defense. Hey, take 26.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12.
56 yards the punt that time, 12 on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
See what you got. Check smash. Check smash. 19-9. Let's go one more.
Hurts.
And this is caught by Watkins. And he showed some fancy footwork on the juke, but then quickly taken down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And one more time, that's Watkins. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 45-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Eagles.
Devontae Smith,
34 yards.
and the Eagles are able to cut into that deficit.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
From the 6.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
57, Mike, 57.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. He's got Tunyon complete over the middle.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Out of the pistol to give to Jones. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Tackle made by Kaiser White. You know he can fly to the ball, and he showed it there. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers.
He finds Randall Cobb with a completion.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
That he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. They'll go with Jones. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
Here's Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a 1st down.
Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Hassan Reddick bringing the pressure yet again. That's his third sack here tonight.
But his linebacker's just having one of those days where everything he does is working. I think you got to get a running back in there to help block, double team him, do whatever. Because right now, he's having a ball. Multiple sacks in this one. That one, the quickest.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Taking it about the 1. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Trap 60, trap 60. Mike 7. Right here, right here. Mike 7, Mike 7. Keep it up, keep it.
Back to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34.
19 tight, 19 tight.
They'll look to throw again. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 15-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
And his pass incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Hey, smash!
Back to throw again. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Eagles are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
This time, the extra point up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Mike 42, check, check, Mike 42. Watch the curve, watch the curve. Mike 42, Mike 42. We ain't giving him nothing. Get 300, get 300.
Rodgers throwing here.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. Go, go, go. 51.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage.
Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
What do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
Watch a slap. Watch a slap. 18 rattling. 18 rattling. 51. 51.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts.
He's going deep for Brown. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage.
And the Packers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rodgers looking to throw.
Looking for Tunyon on the crosser, and he's got it complete.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Rodgers now on first down. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback give the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 57's the mark. 57's the mark.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Rodgers. And this one caught by Beasley.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for Green Bay, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect mines.